Well, hello everybody. It is a little bit of a different video today. We are going to prep for a winter storm. So today's video is a little different than my normal content because we have a storm coming in today. And if you are along the eastern half of the United States, then you probably know that. You are probably preparing along with me or have already prepared by the time you've seen this. So today is Saturday and the storm is supposed to come in tonight. I live in North Carolina. We don't get a lot of winter weather here. We were really hoping for snow, and as the week has gone on, our forecast here in particular has trended more towards ice and less towards snow. So it's looking like that's what we are going to get the most of. So I thought I would just take you with me today as we do some prep for the storm. We're going to be tidying some things up around the house, and we are charging things to get ready for a potential power outage. So anyway, I will take you along with me for all of that. What I'm doing now is actually a tidying thing that just hasn't happened. I am finally putting those Christmas bins away. I showed you in one of my recent videos about packing up Christmas. I got some new bins. I was able to eliminate some bins entirely, and I donated a bunch of decor, let some family look through it. But all of the bins that we are keeping are full of stuff and have just been sitting in the kitchen, and I need to get them out. So I'm gonna take those out to the shed, and then we will go from there. Brandon has gone to pick us up lunch, which is like such a treat. We're really figuring that we're probably gonna lose power, and because we like live rurally, like it may be days before we get power back. So we're just kind of preparing for that. And so we were like, it'd be a nice treat to get a meal out as we're heading into all of this. So that's what we're gonna do. So he went to go pick up Mexican, and I'm just gonna put stuff away. All right, that is all gone and looks so much better. It only took me, 10, 12 minutes, and now it's all cleaned up. Try some rice. So we've got to read the words and see which of these will become compound words. Okay. So what is this word? Help me read that one. This A says ah. Flash. Okay. What if we put this with it? Flash yard. Does that make sense? No. How about this one?
Flash barred.
Not barred. No, you said it right. This is the of bird.
Flash bird. That doesn't sound right.
Okay, see if we can find something that would work with flash. Look at these. See if any of these sound like they could be right.
Flash barth.
Wait, that's not barth. IR is the of bird.
Birth.
Flash birth.
No, it doesn't sound right.
Did we try this one?
Flash coat?
Probably not. What about this one?
Flashlight. Flashlight!
Hey, perfect! Okay, the oldest two decided to spend the night with grandparents, which was just fine. Harrison is in the bed, and my starter, I think, is active enough that I could make some dough for cinnamon rolls. Now, we could lose power before I get them made, but I'm just gonna go ahead and start the dough anyway, and we'll just see what happens. Isn't it so pretty? I love looking at active sourdough starter. I just think it looks so cool. Now mine's not as active as it could be. You know, sometimes it looks like a spider web, but it's bubbly. I'm gonna see if it'll pass the float test. Okay, so it passed the float test, and then it sank. So, I mean, it does still have bubbles in it. I just think, you know, because it's been dormant, it's not, you know, like the most active. This recipe does call for yeast, and I've never used the yeast because my friend who gave me the recipe, she doesn't use the yeast. So I'm just gonna add the yeast, and I think it'll work out just fine as long as we don't lose power before I can get it made. And if we do, I mean, it'll still end up working out fine. My mom has a wood burning stove, so I could put these in a pan, like a cast iron pan or something, and maybe bake them on the stove. But anyway, I'm gonna make the dough. I don't know why I'm motivated to do this now instead of earlier in the day. I don't know, I was just kind of like, I don't know. I just kind of didn't really know what to do next, I guess. So I just kind of took a time out, but I made a list of everything that I needed to charge, and so that helped. And some of it's not necessary, like the kids' DVD players, but I thought it might be fun just to have those in case we wanted them. So I've got one charging now, and then if that gets done charging, then I'll switch it to the other one. But our touch lights are charged. This under cabinet light is charged, just, you know, to have another light. And Brandon's flashlight is charged. So I'm just trying to think about things like that. My battery bank for my phone is charged. And so yeah, I'm just gonna make this dough. Alright, I've got it doing its little auto-lyse step, and then we will just mix the yeast and the salt in and then let it rise. Okay, while I'm waiting for the dough to do that step with the salt and the yeast, I think I'm going to go ahead and mix up the like glaze or, you know, icing, and then I'm just going to have that in the fridge, and so then when I make them tomorrow or whatever, that will just be ready and I can put it on top. cold. It's 20 degrees outside right now, and we are just out here gonna spend a little time. I'm not gonna stay out here with him real long, even though he's like triple layered. I hesitate to say it was overhyped because, you know, we're still supposed to get some freezing rain later today, but so far we've really gotten like no freezing rain. It's mainly been like sleet and snow, which I know, you know, you can't predict it down to an exact, you know, exact forecast, I guess, but better to be over prepared. But just anyway, there's no point in stressing and worrying over something like this. Like maybe I was a little too much. But I got the cinnamon rolls made, and so we'll probably eat on those over the next couple days. I made a pan of bacon, so that's in the fridge too. And we're just gonna go sled a little bit, and I think we're gonna have lunch with my mom.
Ready? Ready?
All right, the baby is napping, so I'm talking kind of low, but I'm gonna take some time and just do some mending. I don't actually remember what this pom-pom goes to, so I'll set that to the side. This little stuffed animal was given to me for Abram at a baby shower, and it's coming unstitched here, so that's a pretty simple fix. So I've got that to do. A button came off of one of Abram's dress shirts, so I can put that back on. This shirt that I got from a yard sale has a little hole next to one of the buttons. There it is. It's like along the seam. So I can mend that. And then this is one of those, you know, crossbody fanny pack type of bags, but it's just like a cheap Amazon one. The lining has been like this for a while, and so I'm just gonna see if I can tack it up and stitch it back together. I think this will be a good use of time. So the button has been put back on. I really do need to do this more often because it's such a like very quick way to feel satisfied and feel like you accomplished something. But if you'll notice, I see this little hole, and I didn't know this was here. I am not the best at, what is it called, darning holes, I think is what it's called. But I'm gonna do my best because I really like this shirt on him. Is there supposed to be a button there too, or is that also a hole? I think that's another hole. That one's not so noticeable. I'm just going to do my best because I do really like this shirt on him. It's probably just getting some wear because we've had it for a while. I did find a pretty good color match for the thread though. There's the one I did, and then there's the original. I thought I was going to have to use one of these lighter ones, but I have this one here. This was my grandma's sewing basket, the grandma that lived here before us, so it's really special. everybody. Today is Monday, and so we are kind of beyond all of the storm stuff at this point. Yesterday was a really fun day. We were able to go sledding with some of our neighbors, and we had some time with them just like playing and hanging out. We really were expecting more ice, and where we live we got very fortunate, and so it was mainly sleet and a little bit of snow. So I know I said yesterday, like, you know, it seemed like it was, you know, kind of like overhyped, and I don't really mean like overhyped. It's just it seemed like we were going to get a lot worse, and thankfully we didn't. So anyway, I haven't worn makeup in like several days, but it's probably good because I need to let my skin breathe here. I'm getting ready to make supper. We're kind of just like throwing stuff together. Brandon made some, or is making some baked potatoes in the oven, and then I'm just gonna make like butter chicken, except it's just gonna be like a vegetarian sauce. It's not gonna have meat in it. So it's just a tomato paste base with some coconut milk. I hope I have coconut milk. If not, I've used evaporated milk before and it works just fine. So it'll have all those flavors, and then I'll just put some chickpeas in it. I'll make some rice and some naan. And then this will actually work out well because whatever doesn't get eaten tonight of the baked potatoes or this rice naan butter chicken meal, we can pull for leftovers tomorrow if we need it for lunch or whatever, because school has been called for tomorrow. Tomorrow would be one of the days where we do like our hybrid learning homeschool, and the roads are just going to be a little too iffy because of how cold it's going to get overnight. I think tomorrow at 8 a.m., which is, you know, when we would be driving to school, it would be like 15 degrees tomorrow morning. So very thankful for that. Very thankful that that call was made. I think that was the right call. So I'm going to go in here and make this supper. I made a really delicious treat. So if you've ever had puppy chow or sweet minglers or muddy buddies, like the little cereal that's tossed with chocolate and peanut butter and then tossed in powdered sugar, I made it growing up and I loved it. But I had seen this recipe from Pinch of Yum on Instagram, and so I will link the blog post for that recipe down below. But it's a little bit different because it has more peanut butter and maybe a little more chocolate than the one that I am used to eating. But anyway, you toss it in powdered sugar, and then what's different about it is you put it in the freezer, and I think it's delicious. So the recipe calls for like 10 cups of cereal, and my box didn't have that much, so I just halved it. So I halved everything and made like 5 cups worth. But it was really delicious. So I had hoped to make it before the storm, before all the power went out, and I didn't do that. But then power didn't go out anyway, and I thought I'll just go ahead and make it. So that's in the freezer now. All right, I'm gonna make supper, and then I think we're just gonna wind down for the night. So if there's anything else worth showing, I'll show it to you. And that'll be this video. All right, this is the recipe that I use for butter chicken. I started using this recipe whenever I was doing Whole30 years ago, and I was trying to figure out some like dietary irritation things I had going on. I don't actually do the meatballs. I find that I like it better just dicing up chicken and doing like salt and pepper and sauteing it in olive oil. Again, we're not doing chicken this time, so I'm just omitting all of this. I also just do butter instead of ghee because we're not trying to be dairy free, and ghee tends to be expensive. So I think I follow everything else here to a T. Most butter chickens use garam masala, and I don't have that, but these kind of create that same flavoring. So I do all of these spices. If I happen to not have a lemon, sometimes I'll just put a splash of vinegar just to give it a little bit of acidity, and that's that. The time timer's going, so that's the little ticking that you're hearing. I'm gonna do the butter chicken here, and then I'm gonna do the rice here. I've really kind of become more fond recently of doing rice in here versus the Instant Pot because it feels like easier to clean and less cumbersome. I don't know. I don't know if I'm changing my ways, but the last couple times I've made rice, I've done it in here.